Okay, we're recording again. So this is where we left off. We were finding an unknown between any of our items, present value, future value, I, and N. And so we could use like we were finding the I, so we used the rate function. There's also a function for N per, and there's also functions for present value and future value. So there's actually a function for present value and future value, rate, and N per. So you can find any of those unknowns. So that'll help you guys with the homework. So the other concept we need to cover tonight is ordinary annuity and annuity due. And the only difference between the two is the timing of when the first payment is made. So the concept is an annuity is equal payments over equal intervals. So anytime you're paying the same amount over time, that's called an annuity. And so an annuity is multiple payments. So literally, like my car payment is an annuity because I'm making equal payments over equal intervals. So $289 a month for 60 months is an example of an annuity. Annuities can also be you receiving money. So if you are going to retire at the age of 65 and you have a pension plan that pays you 70% of your salary monthly until you die. That's an example of an annuity. You can buy life insurance type annuities, all kinds of annuities. So an ordinary annuity means that that each payment occurs at the end of each period. Annuity due is the beginning of each period. So you can find present values and future values of annuities. So here are some examples that we can work through, and then you'll also work through examples in the homework. So we plan to invest $2,500 at the end of each of the next 10 years. We can earn 8% annually on all invested funds. What will be the fund balance at the end of 10 years? So what we're going to do basically is we are going to deposit $2,500 into an account each year. So each year at each of the next 10 years means annuity because we're going to do 2,500 multiple times. So that's when we're going to use that payment row in our function. So what will be the balance at the end of 10 years? So we could do it manually. So if we do this manually, then basically what would happen is you would, at the end of year one, 12/31, and so let's just say year one. Well, let's just do 12/31 of 20 is the first year, and you're going to deposit $2,500. So this is the, let's go like this. Let's do deposit, interest, balance. So at the end of the year, we're going to put $2,500 in there. So we will get no interest in that year because we just made the deposit on 12/31. So now my balance is 2,500 plus 0 is 2,500. So at 12/31/2021, we will deposit another 2,500 and we will earn interest on our outstanding balance. So we're going to earn interest on the money that was in there all year. And so I don't remember what our interest rate was. So let's go back and look. 8%. Okay. So I equals PRT, principal times rate for one whole year. So our interest will be $200. So we still have the 2,500 book from before and an additional 2,500 and the $200 in interest. So we have our original money we put in there last year and it earned interest, but then we deposit another 2,500. So then we'll do that again on 12/31 of 22. So we'll deposit $2,500. We'll earn interest at 8% for the whole year. So we had 5,200, we deposited another 2,500 and $416 of interest this year. So see how much that interest jumped? That's because we put another 2,500 in there. So then what I'm going to do is I want that to happen for a total of 10 years. So I don't know how many this is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 10. Okay, I was just guessing. That's crazy. So I think that based on this, our balance at the end is 36,216.41. So at a minimum, I put 2,500 in there over 10 years, which is $25,000. But also we earned interest on interest on interest. And so in that last year, we were earning $2,500 in interest because the balance had gotten so big. So we don't have to do it manually. This is us calculating it manually. But instead, what we can do is we want to know, we're going to put 2,500 in each year, and we want to know what it's going to grow to in the future. So I want to check that out. We're going to invest 2,500 at end of each of the next 10 years. What will the balance be at the end? So I'm looking for the future value. I'm going to use a rate of 8%, an NPER of 10, and a payment of negative 2,500. Again, I only do that so that the number shows up positive. So let's go ahead and let's go out in Excel and let's do it with the function. So f of x, and we are going to find the future value. That's the number I'm looking for. My rate is 8%, my NPER is 10, and I'm going to make a payment. Now, if it was just a one-time thing, you'd put it in the PV row. So like if I put 2,500 in now and I wanted to know what it would grow to, just one payment of 2,500, I would put it here. But because it's going to happen multiple times, I'm going to use the payment. So I'm going to put in negative $2,500. So when I do that, I get hashtag 36 to 1641. So that's how that works. Okay. So we don't have to do it manually. We can use the function. So 36 to 1641. And you guys are going to be practicing this for homework for this next time, but you're also going to be practicing it the following week because we're going to build further with it when we come back from Thanksgiving break. So 36 to 1641. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to do is I want to compute the future value of 10,000 invested at the beginning of each of the next 4 years with interest at 6% annually. So again, I'm going to use the future value function. My rate this time is 6%. My NPER is 4 years. And my payment is negative 10,000. But because it says beginning, I'm going to do it at the beginning, right up front. My type will be 1, and because this is an annuity due. So an annuity due is when the first cash flow happens at the beginning. So let's go look for that. So, so in this example, on 12, and it doesn't really matter. I could just do 1/1 of 2020. I'm going to make that deposit of $2,500. And so it's going to earn interest immediately. Oh, it's not 2,500. It was 10,000. So I'm going to earn interest on that immediately. I don't remember the rate. Man, the rate on this problem is 6%. So, okay, so I'm going to do this times 0.06 times 1 year. So at the end of the first year, I have 10,600. So the difference is up here, I didn't earn any interest in the first year, and now I'm going to. So I can still put 1231.20 here. It doesn't really matter. But when I put the money in, let's do it this way because I want it to make sense. I want to make sure we're okay. So on 1/1 of 20, I'm going to put in $10,000. So my balance on 1/1 of 20 is 10,000. And then I'm going to earn interest on that. So at 6% interest. So now my balance is 10,000 plus 600. And then on 1/1 of 21, I'm going to deposit another 10,000. I don't like the way I'm setting this up. It's totally making sense in my head, but I want it to be clean for you guys. For one thing, it's bothering me because I wanted to have a comma with a couple decimals. Okay. So I'm going to make my first deposit, my initial deposit of 10,000. And then I'm going to make another deposit of 10,000 and I'll have interest on this. I don't like that either. I know what I'm trying to do and it's just not necessarily what I want it to look like. So 1/1 of 20, I'm going to deposit $10,000 and I'm going to earn interest on that money at 0.06. So my balance is 10,600. And then on 1/1 of 21, I'll put in another 10,000. My interest will be on 10,600. Then I have 10,600 and 10 and 636. And on 1/1 of 22, I'll put in another 10,000 and it will earn interest on 0.06. So now my balance is so I don't know if I did it right, if I'm being really honest. So I am earning interest on it all 4 years. So, but I'm thinking that we earn interest up front. So let me just find the future value. So if I use the future value function, I know I get it right. So 0.06 times 4 years at a payment of negative 10,000, but I'm going to put a type 1 right here. And so I have more. It's not right. Okay, so now I want to know why. So I put a type 1 right there because I'm earning interest from the very beginning. So now I'm going to try to see if I can get it to work right, because I really want this to work. I wish we were in person, because if we were in person, then I feel like you guys would tell me what to do and it would make sense. So I'm going to make a deposit of $10,000 on 1/1 of 2020. So the balance on 1/1 of 2020 is $10,000. And then I'm going to earn interest on that, 0.06. So at the end of the first year, I have 10,600. And then on 1/1 of 21, I'm going to make another deposit of 10,000. So now my balance is 20,600. And on 12/31/20, I'm going to get the interest on that money. So now at 12/31/20, my balance is 21,836. Then on 1/1 of 22, I'm going to deposit, sorry, this is 12/31/21. On 1/1 of 22, I'm going to deposit another $10,000. And so then my balance grows to 31,836. I was doing this at one point. So now my balance is 33,746.16. And on 1/1 of 23, I'm going to deposit $10,000. And I have 43,746. But then on 12/31, I have 46,370.93. Sorry that it took me a minute to get there. I think sometimes it helps if you guys see me kind of do it wrong. So what we're doing is we're making a deposit at the beginning of the period. So on January 1, when we make our original deposit, we have $10,000. It sits there all year. Whereas up here, we made the deposit on 12/31. So we waited till the end of the year. So it sat there all year. And at the end of the year, it earns $600 in interest. So now I have 10,600. On January 1, I put another 10,000 in there. So now my balance in that account is 20,600, and it's going to grow with interest for that whole year. And that deposit of interest happens at the end of the year. And so now I'm at 21,836. I deposit another 10, let it sit there the entire year, and I earn 19,1016. Deposit another 10, earn interest, and it grows to 46,370.93. So 46,370.93 is the right answer. You can also go the other direction and find the present value of an annuity. So the present value of annuity would be today's value. So if you're gonna receive 10,000 a year for the next 20 years, what is the value of that today? So I'll say that again. You're gonna receive 10,000 for the next 20 years. Every year I'm gonna give you $10,000. Yay. Okay, so that means over the next 20 years, 10,000 a year, I'm gonna give you $200,000. So instead, if you brought the money back to today, what is the value that I have to give you today so you don't have to wait 20 years for it? So you call JD Wentworth. Do you have a structured settlement and you need cash now? Call it a JD Wentworth 877 cash now, I think. I don't know. So a structured settlement is payments over time. It's an annuity, okay? And if you want money now, so maybe you got ran over by a bus, but you're not bad, just a little. And the bus company says, you know what? I'm so sorry that happened. I'm sorry I ran over your foot. Sorry, I broke it. So sad. I'm going to give you $20,000 a year for the next 20 years. I'd be like, what? Okay, I'll take it, right? So you're going to get $20,000 for the next 20 years. So you're going to get $400,000, but you got to wait. And every year you're going to get 20, and every year you're going to get 20, and you're tired of waiting. You have a structured settlement and you want cash now. So when they give you the cash now, they're not going to give you 400 grand because you don't have to wait for it. So there's a value to that. And that's called time value of money. Sorry, I sang to you. I don't sing. It's not my thing. Okay. So to find the present value of that. And so in that example, you have a structured settlement and you need cash now. Okay. So Joseph got just bumped by a bus. The bus company said, oh geez, so sorry. Here is $20,000 each year for the next 20 years. If you promise not to sue us. Joseph says, deal. Okay, so now he is tired of waiting for money. Okay, he wants cash now. This is such a weird example. I'm so sorry. Okay, so so what he's going to do is 20,000 per year for 20 years is $400,000. But he wants the money today, so he is going to have to settle for less. How much should he settle for if he can earn 4% interest on his money? And so I guess we would need to know the payments are made annually at the end of each year. Okay, so I want to know how much he should settle for today. He's going to get money today. So what we'll do is we're going to find the present value. So when we do that, our rate of interest is 4% for 20 years. He is going to get $20,000. So in today's dollars, he would be okay with $271,806.53. Now he's willing to do that because he doesn't have to wait. Year after year, he has to wait to get the 20,000. So he'd get 20,000 and then another 20 and then another 20. So this is called the present value of an annuity. Okay, good times. So, okay, so you wish to withdraw 10,000 at the end of each of the next 4 years from a bank account that pays 10% interest. Funny. How much do you need to invest today to meet this goal? Okay, so this would be a good example. Like if I wanted, I would never, but if I wanted my children to be able to have 10,000 a year to live on while they're in college, okay, I wouldn't do that because I want them to work for their money and it's okay. But if I wanted them to have $10,000 a year to live on, and so I wanted to know, I'm going to put some money away today so that each year they're going to be able to pull out $10,000 for 4 years. So it is an annuity because it's more than one payment at the end of each of the next 4 years. And so we're not going to use a table. We're going to use a function. So where this line is, let's just delete that and let's put some other information. So we're going to pull money out at the end. So this is an ordinary annuity. So we don't need a type 1. Okay. So what we're going to do is we want to know how much we need to invest today. So that's a present value. Okay. We're going to have an I, or a rate, equal to 10%, an N per equal to 4, and our payment will be negative $10,000. So let's go do that. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so present value and my rate, I don't remember. I never remember. 10%. And per is 4, and that payment is negative $10,000, I think. Yeah. So if the payments were made at the beginning, if I wanted to pull out 10 grand immediately, then I would put a type 1 here, but it said at the end, so it's just a regular annuity. So that answer is 31,698.65. So next one, how much must a person 65 years old invest today at 8% interest compounded annually to provide for an annuity of 20,000 at the end of each of the next 15 years? Okay, so in this example, older person, he's at his retirement point. So when he's 65 today, he wants to be able to pull out 20,000 each year for 15 years. So this guy probably thinks he's going to die when he turns 80. So this is kind of morbid. In general, when I teach time value of money, it usually gets kind of morbid. So what we're going to do is we're going to say 20,000 at the end of the next 15 years. And so we want to know how much we need to invest today. So again, we're doing the present value. And he wants to be able to pull out 20,000 each year. I don't know why I think he's a he. Maybe he's a girl. I have no idea. Rate, 8%. And per, 15. Payment, negative 20,000. So fun. I'm so glad we're doing this. I wish we were in person. Okay, so my rate, let's go over to, it's 8%. I'm going to remember this time. Okay, so present value, 0.08 for 15 years, and he wants to pull out 20,000 each year. Did it say at the beginning or the end of each year? End, regular annuity. Okay, so he would need to have 171,189.57 cents. 171,189.57. 1,189.57. So if he deposited this much money into a bank account, then at the end of every year he could pull out 20,000 and it would run out after 15 years. So think about that. If he pulls out 20,000 a year for 15 years, he's pulling out a total of 300,000. But while the balance sits in there, it's growing and it's growing. So if you have this much money into an account, let's go try it. Date. Let's do, we could do deposit, interest, withdrawal, balance. So it's kind of like a bank account. So when you start on the first day, so the initial deposit, you're going to start off with 171,189. So that's the balance. Okay. But at the end of year one, you are going to pull out $20,000. Okay. But it's going to earn interest at, no idea, 8%. Is that what it was? Yep, it was 8%. Okay. So at the end of the year, the balance is going to go up by 13, but down by 20. So at the end of year one, your balance only drops by like 7 grand, even though you pulled out 20 because it earned interest. So at the end of year two, you're going to earn interest on 164 at 8% for the whole year, but you're still going to withdraw 20,000. And so it's going to go up by this and down by this. So now I want to go 20 years. I'm going to do this for 20 years. So because I did 2 of them, I can drag that down. I should show you what I'm doing. So because I did 2, it can see it as a series because I have 1, 2. So then if I go over here, arrow plus, fat plus, arrow plus, skinny plus, click, drag, and see it says end of year 11, 12, 13. I want it to be 20 years. So every year it's going to earn interest at 8% for 1 whole year. Pull out $20,000. It will go up by interest, down for withdrawal. And so then if I double click down, the only problem is, see what it did? It added $1 each time. So I'm going to hit undo and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to paste it down. And so what happens is every year my interest is dwindling because my balance is dwindling and I'm pulling 20 out. So every time I'm pulling out more than what I'm earning. So if we look at like year 10, remember up in year 1, you earned 13,000 because you had such a bigger balance. But in year 10, you only earned 7. And this number just keeps going down and down and down. Oh no. Oh, it only said we were going to live for 15 years. I tried to live 20 years. Darn it. We are out of money at the end of year 15. Okay. So the last year, instead of earning 13,000 in interest, we're only earning $1,400 in interest, but we pulled out 20 each time and we ended with 0. So we better hope at age 80 that we have some other form of income because we're screwed now because we're out of money. We used up all of our money. Okay. So good times. Okay. So compute the current value of 10,000 received at the beginning, annuity due of each, this means annuity, of the next 4 years with interest at 6% compounded annually. The current value is the same thing as the present value. I'm going to receive 10,000 for the next 4 years, interest at 6%. So again, same thing, present value, rate at 6%, and per at 4, payment at negative 10,000, and don't forget type 1. Okay. So let's go try this. Let's see if I can remember. What's going on? I've got a lot of stuff going on over here. 10,000, 6%, 4. Okay, on 10,000, 6%, 4. Present value, 6% for 10,000. I'm not sure. Yep, 10,000, 6%, 4. And then I need to put a type 1. Now, if you delete that type 1, you can see the answer right here. It's right now it says 34, but if I put the type 1 there, you're going to receive 10,000 immediately. So you can start growing interest on it immediately. So 36, 730 and 12 cents. 36, 730 and 12 cents. Good times, guys. That was really good. And so I hope that helped. And so we have an idea now. And so I want you guys to just do a little bit of time value of money, cash flow stuff. I don't want you to do a ton of it. We're going to save it and do more with this. This topic is big and important in finance. You guys will do so much of this in managerial finance. So I want you guys getting used to how to do time value of money. And so I want you to get used to doing Excel with time value of money. So to preview your homework a little bit, on these tabs, it's fun, let me tell you. So the issue is you can't type out here. They're locked down. I found this problem a long time ago and I thought it was really good, but it's book data. So like from an old book, like a book that's completely unrelated to you guys. So when you type in an answer here, it'll actually give you like total cash receipts and total cash payments are going to be verified. So if I thought this number was 100, it'd say try again. And if I'm like, oh, is it 200? It's not 200. So you'll just keep trying until you hit it. I think it happens to be 227. I only know that because I did it earlier today in my other class. And so, and then down here, I don't know if it's 172. I don't remember what it is. So you're going to look at the given tab to get help with this. So the given tab says that in general, we are going to start the month with cash of $8,000. So on May 31, I have cash of 8,000. I am trying to figure out how much cash I will have at the end of June. So what will I have at the end of June? And remember, I think last time we were here, I might have told you guys that that number is actually 7,500, just to give you something to shoot for. Okay, so my cash balance at the beginning is $8,000. So I'm going to put 8,000 in here. This cash receipts is going to come from right here. To find that cash receipts, look what happened. It says I made sales of 250,000. Okay. So if you received if all of your sales were cash sales, then you would use the whole 250. But it says that 60,000 are cash sales and the remainder are on account, meaning we're going to receive them some other day. And then of the credit sales, 50% are collected in the same month. So let's kind of try to detail that out. I'm going to go like this and then pull up that one behind it. No, I want that one big and I want that one little. Okay, I can do this. There is a way to view two spreadsheets at the same time. view side by side with synchronous scrolling. Okay, so where's the other one? I want both of these. Okay, so do I need to make it littler? Like what's happening? What's going wrong here? Okay, so that one and that one. Really? Okay. So view. View side by side, reset window position. Aha, okay, view side by side. Okay, so now I have this blank data and then I have this data down here. Okay, so now they're not side by side, but they're on top of each other and that's good enough. So I make sales of $250,000, but some of them are cash sales and some of them are sales on account. So my cash sales are $60,000. So my sales on account is the rest. So of the 250, 60 is in cash. So 190 is on account. So then of that number, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that 50% of the credit sales. So I'm definitely like, if I'm looking for cash collected during June, I am definitely going to get that 60. That 60 is mine. I got that. Of the 190, then I will branch off on that at 50% and 50%. So 50% collected in month of sale and the other 50% collected later, will receive later. That's a hint for later, okay? So that 50% of 190 means that I'm gonna get 95,000 now and I'll get the other 95,000 some other day. Okay. So I'm going to get this in the month of sales. I'm going to get this in June. So in June, I make sales of 250. I'm going to get 60. This is later. Of the later, some of it's going to happen in June and the rest of it will happen probably in July. And then it says down here that 100% of May receivables are collected. 100% of May receivables are collected. So over here, our cash sales for June were $60,000. Our May 31 balance, we are going to collect all of the May 31 balance. Accounts receivable on May 31 is 72, and it says that 100% of that is collected. So I'm going to collect the full 72,000. And then from my sales on account, my sales on account were 190. I'm going to collect 95 of it. So I'm going to collect 95,000. So in total, I am going to receive 227. So that 227 is going to come in as receipts from customers. So that means that during this month, I have $235,000 available to spend. That's what I have to spend. And then I'm going to look and see what I spend. And I'm going to borrow some money and repay a loan and pay some interest. And that number right there needs to be $7,500. And then I'll do a budgeted income statement. Budgeted sales, I remember, were $250,000, and then go from there. This number is $2,500, $6,500. Okay, so just so you know, that number needs to be $6,500. And then I have no idea what these are. Whatever the cash ending balance is, I think we said it was $7,500. Will be the $7,500 here. Ooh, this is the money I'm still waiting to receive. I just computed that. So you use the notes that we did last time to be able to solve this problem. So in our week 5 lecture, when we did inventory and all those budgets, use that to be able to do this. Tab 2, same concept. You're going to do a sales budget, cash collections, purchases, and so on. The given tab is here. I may in midweek give you guys a video just specifically on helping you with that. For tab 3, let's assume we put 2,000 in a bank using simple interest, and then you're going to do, so this is like the first page of the notes. You're going to put all of your answers in the pretty pink cells. Here, you guys are going to use the Excel function to find the future value. So you're going to find the future value. Same thing here, you're going to find the present value. So present value equals, and so you're going to use the Excel function, and then you can also use the formula. So here, I'll do this one for you. If you're using the formula, then it's at the top, future value equals present value times 1 plus I caret thingy N. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. So the answer here is 30,182.95. But what I can do is I can say 15,000 times 1.06 caret thingy, shift 6. That's, what is it called? I don't know. To the n power 12. Okay. So 30,182.95. And then here you would use the future value function and you should get the same answer. So on each of these, you should get the same answer. You're just doing it two ways. Same thing here, but you're going to be using the present value function. So you can solve for it here using the formula, or you can use the function. I want you to try both. So the formula is written here. So if you're trying to use the formula, then you would do the future value, 20,000 divided by, and you would do 1.07 caret thingy, 10. So I think that's right, unless I typed in something wrong. So I feel like that's pretty good. Okay. So, and then here, Nicole's going to deposit some money in savings. And then Tora wants 12,000 to take me on a super nice vacation. So, and then over here, we're going to find some unknowns. So use the PV function, the FV function, the rate function, the N per function. And then this is an annuity one. So use the present value function, use the payment function. So there's a function called payment. See how it goes. Rate function, N per function. So I think it's going to go pretty well. I'm a little nervous about tab 1 and 2. If you guys have trouble, text me and I can always make extra videos for you. So, all right, I think, oh, one more thing I want to show you is on your, I got to go in just a minute, on your, and by the way, I'm going to be working on grading and stuff just like normal. So I've been trying to grade by the weekend, like each weekend, so that I don't get behind, because the last thing I need is to be behind right now. So if we go into either one, it doesn't matter. You guys do have, so for week 6, you guys have, I've crunched the numbers. This month is going to be rough. Okay, so you're going to watch the videos of the homework solutions. Those are posted. You're going to complete the quiz from the previous week. So it's a budget quiz. You're going to watch videos of new material and do the homework. And then there's a discussion board. So the discussion board is kind of a fun one. I found a few videos. This is the only data that I've used out of the previous shell that had like a couple of videos and some terminology and stuff. But I wanted to show you guys that your budget project is posted. This budget project is not due until December 9th at 5 p.m. So it's not due until December 9th at 5 p.m. So it's weeks from now, but it's posted and I want you to get started on it. When you open up that budget, I'll probably do this in the overview video too, but when you open up this budget, there's lots of tabs, okay? So it opened on cash disbursements for selling and admin. This is the given tab. Then we have sales, cash collections, purchases, cash disbursements of merchandise, cash disbursements here, cash budget. So when we get to this budget, we have a check figure. So this answer is 5482. I know that. I've got to create all of these budgets to get here. So when we come back to class December 2nd, I will address this more in class and I'll help you guys with some videos and stuff. This project is worth 100 points. And so this will give you plenty of opportunity to bump up grades and all kinds of good stuff. So when you're doing this though, the best thing you can do for yourself is like this cash collections is from the cash collection tab. So click on that cell. Okay. So right now it says 0, but when I put in a number here, like if I say that this number is 1,000 or 100 and this one's 2,000, then this one is 2,100. And so then when I go and look over here, it put the 2,100 there. But then if I change this number to 200, then if this is a formula, then now this number becomes 2,200. So if I change this to 500, now it's 2,500, and then it updated over here. Okay. So whatever you end with one month is what you'll begin with the next month. Whatever you end with this month is what you'll begin with. Use your notes. Okay. Your notes were very good in this section. And then you're going to build an income statement. Don't forget your who, what, when, and then make sure you put like revenue less COGS is gross profit or gross, whatever we called it. And then tracked out selling and admin. And so you guys are going to go ahead and figure out. So I'll preview it for you to get started. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Please, please, please make good choices and be careful, sick. And so, so see you all soon. And let me know if you guys need anything at all. Text me, email me, whatever you need to do. So